Hi everyone, this is Livin, and what this video is going to be about is actually going to be about a follow-up to my video titled Practicing and Operationalizing Black Feminism, um, Eco-Efficient Entrepreneurship. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at a blueprint. A blueprint is actually a plan for development. This particular development project has to do with developing a fairly large size residential home. Now, what a black feminist approach does is it looks at something like this, says, oh, okay, that looks pretty good. But first of all, we have to see how impacts have been reviewed. For example, our focus is environmental awareness. However, taking a black feminist approach from the United States, in particular from Dr. Patricia Hill Collins, excuse me, she says to actually look at how impacts intersect. And the model that she uses is called something called matrix of domination. Sorry, I'm trying to be very specific with certain terms that I use, but I'll just explain it in a way that comes natural to me. So black feminism actually looks at, like, for example, how do oppressions intersect? So when it comes to environmental work, one of the questions that we ask is, okay, how do we see intersecting impacts, if any? So, for example, when we're doing environmental assessments of different types of blueprints, we look at things beyond the aesthetics. And we also look at the aesthetics too. For example, we see a lot of terms here. I'm going to try and zoom in so that you can see. For example, yeah, it's not coming out very good. Okay, so where this pointer is, it says porcelain tiles, external thermal insulation, foil face, and then, you know, it has like different terms, and some of these terms, you know, are impossible to pronounce. But what we would do is we would actually look at this stuff, these details, and say, okay, that sounds nice, thermal insulation filling. But are we actually getting this stuff from, for example, the DRC? Thermal insulation filling, where did this come from, right? And how are we actually, and where are we sourcing these types of materials from? So, for example, some of these details here talk about concrete seed topping, aluminum flashing. Where did the aluminum come from? Thermal insulation again, window frame and glass, marble threshold, concrete block, portal frame beam, again thermal insulation. We see a lot of porcelain tiles, blue skin, waterproof layer. So what we would do is we would actually look at, for example, these blueprint plans, and it could be a blueprint for, I don't know, the restoration of a brownfields property, or it could be doing you know, an impact assessment related to air quality in certain urbanized zones. It could also be looking at the impacts of, for example, light pollution at night in certain urban communities that are concentrated, and also highly under-resourced in the global economic north. So we want to start from our backyards first, and clean up the mess there first before we decide that we have to do some kind of work related to saving other people in the world. We actually don't practice those types of ideas. What we do is we say, okay, you know what do we see right now? What do we see, in front of us? And how do we actually, start engaging with some of the problems that are in our backyards? So if you have any questions, definitely send me some emails. I'm being, a little bit vague with some terms to actually protect the privacy of some of these prints, or these plants. But let me know how things are going for you. I'm just going to throw up these videos as I come across different things. But one thing that we do is we do impact assessments of blueprints. So we could even look at like the impact assessment of like the plumbing material that actually funnels, materials related to corrosive stuff, materials related to temperature sensitivity stuff, even materials related to the channeling of different types of natural resources like petroleum stuff. And also we look at like renewable sources of energy. So for example, looking at other ways of understanding how to be environmentally aware. Now, one of the things that I wanted to also point out from this perspective, an eco-entrepreneurship perspective that factors black feminism from the United States, is that some in the eco community have to understand that when there are discussions about nature, nature is actually culture for some people. So what may seem very sophisticated in certain terminologies that are used is actually